the kneeling cable crunch. What we want to do on this is not jerk it down. We want to hold it here and roll our abs down and then unroll. Roll down, unroll, roll down. And the more I slow this up, the harder it gets. Alright, so now we're going to move the camera over to this side and we're going to do a standing cable crunch.
Okay. Good.
Alright, standing cable crunch. You're going to pull yourself out of the way from here. Abs are getting work, just not getting jerked back in there, especially from the hips on up. So I'm using pretty much weight on this, but what we're going to do is we're just going to roll down again. Nice and neat. So that's a standing cable crunch. So let's move on. Alright, so what we're going to do here is a wide leg sit-up supported in the power cage. Great for the hips. Not as much abs, but it does get some. And I'll probably regret saying that since my abs are pretty sore right now, but we're going to try to get a couple here. So again here. So that's a wide leg sit-up. So we're going to move on. Alright, before we move on, I just want to touch on a couple of things here. On the glute ham sit-up, a regular sit-up, anything we're doing with a kettlebell, we could also substitute a medicine ball. Anything that would be on top of our head makes it harder. Anything we hold over our head makes it harder as long as we're not throwing our arms forward. So every one of these exercises has probably, or exercise you probably has 2 or 3 different variations you can do of it, which literally adds hundreds of exercises you can do. So an ab workout should never get boring. So next we're going to do is a plank. And we're going to do 2 versions of the plank. What most people do about the plank is they get in and they hold it, but they don't, that's all they do, and they wait till they get tired and then they start collapsing. So what we want to do is get our arms under us, and when we go up into this plank, we want to make it as tight as we can. We don't need to hold it for 30 seconds or a minute. We can if we want to, but we just have to get tight. I can go up higher if I want, but the minute we go up higher, we either sink. So we want to just be level here. I can pull my arms in more and get more. I don't have them out here, but just tight. That's a basic plank. Then we're going to do an advanced plank, and this is one that we used to call an extended push-up, but it is more of a plank because our arms are out in front of us, and all we're doing is lifting our rear end and our stomach off the ground. But it is a hard exercise to do, and it's hard to hold for very long. But I should have probably done this one earlier, but we're going to give it a go right now. So hands come out here, feet. And if I get my feet down here a little bit, that's an extended plank. Do 10 or 15 of them without even holding the plank. And after a couple sets, you know how tough the workout can be. So I'm going to add another exercise in here. I'm going to add a rope one here. So a little longer rope here. And I'm going to sneak out of the frame real quick here and get a kettlebell. This one not only works the upper body, but it works the core pretty well too. You just want to be careful of this one is it don't slip out of your hand. Don't hit you in the leg when you're changing or slowing it down, changing position. So we're just going to get this up here and So start swinging. You can see how hard that is. Slow her down. And go the other direction. That's a kettlebell rope swing, and very hard on the whole body. I tried this ahead of time to make sure that my torso could take the punishment, and my shoulder especially, and it worked out okay, so let's move on. All right, we're gonna do some ball work. Normally I would use a stability ball or a BOSU ball, and I might on a couple of them, but to make sure that we can at least get the exercise demonstrated, we need one of these smaller balls to do. And the first one we're going to do is a ball pass. And we're going to do a few of them, but again, it's arms over our head, ball out here, up, down, up, down. Also, we can do another version of this, we just do the ball touch, which we will hold here. And yet, another version will do the same thing without passing it this way. So those are 3 variations of a ball pass. And then we could also do ball circles with it, which is just holding it. And first we start just going across back and forth. And we do circles. These are little ones, are a lot harder. So those are little ball circles. And we could take it bigger, but a lot of times we take it bigger, we just use momentum. Carry it around, not going all the way down. Pretty hard to hold them, but they're a good exercise also. And another one is an angle, what I call an angle one. When I do with my clients, I stand and hold my hand out, and bring the ball at the angle to touch it, so it look like this. And the other side. Yeah, that's that one. We also do a knee up. And we might do that with a heavier ball, but basically it's a reverse crunch. Just lay it here, bring it up, down, up, down. I don't even hold it with my knees if I want to. Anywhere is okay. And we'll do that sometimes with this, sometimes with the BOSU, sometimes with a big stability ball, or sometimes with a medicine ball, which is really difficult. So the circles are good. I can also do them with kettlebells. So I could actually come in here and I could take this guy and I could do singles or doubles, leg circles, knee ups. And if I did them both, it would look like that. And I could also do angle knee ups, which is an angle. And my whole lower end of my body is on fire right now from doing all this stuff. So I'll tell you how good it is. Same thing here. So that would be another version of that. Show you what they call a hip kip, which is another hip exercise. Basically done on a stability ball. And what you do is just roll out, throw it off, just a little bit off the floor. I like to do this with weight on my stomach. I'm just going to drive it up, tight, 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 back down, up. And that is called the hip kip. I can also This one's real hard to do. I can roll out on the ball and try to move my feet side to side. Depending on how far out I go, it makes it easier or harder. So if I come in here, just a roll. If you clear out to the feet, ball wants to always get away from you. So it's a lot harder to do. It's just a core builder. Very difficult. And I can also do wood chops, and I like kneeling ones we're doing, but it'd be here, up. I have the bolsters, I have the sand going in there. Here. Here. I also like this one. Back. Forward. Back. Forward. Well, those are a couple of other ones that we've got. Let's move on and finish up here. All right, let's do it. Okay, what we're going to do next is I'm going to do a regular sit-up and an incline bench. I'm not inclining very much because we get towards the end of this, and I don't know if I can do a sit-up on here anymore. But when I do a sit-up, I always want to come up, full range of motion at the top, but at the bottom, I just go back until my back touches. I don't lay all the way out because there's a tendency to jerk when you do that and lose all the tightness that we've developed through the sit-up. Also want to drag my head, and then there's a variation of this, a twisting sit-up, and it's just kind of like coiling and uncoiling your abs. So we're going to get in here, and so if I start up here, I go back down, all the way up to touch. And just if I want to go to the side and slowly and slowly. He's already doing it out here, so that's a sit-up. It should be a slow roll into the sit-up, coiling your stomach and uncoiling. Only back to where your back touches, because you don't need to go all the way and dragging your head behind you. I didn't have any help shooting this one. A lot of scheduling conflicts, and I wanted to get this done. So everything that you're seeing, I've done it myself, and we've done it in just working on an hour now. We have one more set to show you, 2 more exercises, and we'll be finished. So we're going to head over back to the mat, and we'll see over there. All right, we're down to the last 2. Coming in right around between 40 and 50 exercises. This one, I'm going to have the bands on my, you can actually stand up. Okay, the bands are on my ankles, and Mariah's going to hold it, and I'm going to do bicycles, and then a double knee up. And she's going to try to give me some resistance. So it's like this. A little harder. Now doubles. So that's our video workout. As you can see, I'm sweaty and spent. We finished this up in about just a little over about an hour and 5 minutes of shooting. And I hope to do more later as we get more exercises or more variations. If you like it, let me know. I'd be glad to shoot more if there's any questions. You can catch me on my email, power@yahoo.com, or through my website. Or if you're on my Facebook page, on my Facebook page. So, good lifting.